Good morning, children. Welcome to session 25, Social Studies. We have learnt about the administrative policies of the British in the previous session. Now, let's learn about their economic policies. So, children, do you remember what is our lesson name and the number? It is lesson number 3, Administrative and Economic Policies of the British. Under that, we will be discussing about the commercial policies, land revenue policy, commercialization of agriculture, and also the case study of Indigo rebellions in Bengal. So first let's understand what is commercial policy. We all know that British came to India for the purpose of trade, right? Over a period of time, British government understood that there is so much of demand for the Indian goods in England. So they wanted to change India into a buyer of British goods, and on the other, reduce India to just a provider of raw materials. So after 1757, they started ordering the weavers of Bengal to sell their goods at a reduced price. And also British started bringing their goods to India for free without paying any tax. Do you know, children, here most of the Indian goods were handmade or homemade. But the British started selling machine-made goods at cheaper prices. If we get things in cheaper price, do we buy the same by paying more? No, right? Same thing happened here. As a result, Indian goods had to face severe and imbalanced competition from England, which ultimately led to the decline of the Indian goods. By seeing this situation, Dadabhai Naoroji put forward a theory called economic trade. What does it mean? Which means British exporting India's wealth to England. Now let us learn about the land revenue policy. Since ancient time, land revenue was collected as a part of the agricultural produce through officials of the rulers or zamindar. So here they had zamindari system, Royatwari system and Mahalwari system. So first let's learn about zamindari system. Zamindari system is also known as permanent settlement system. Then who introduced this? This system was introduced by Charles Cornwallis in the year of 1793 through the Permanent Settlement Act in Bengal, Bihar, Odisha and Varanasi. According to this system, all the zamindars were accepted as landowners. They were given the rights to collect revenue from the peasants. Next one is the Royatwari system. In 1820, Thomas Munro introduced the Royatwari system mainly in areas like Madras, Bombay and parts of Assam. In this system, the land ownership rights were handed over to the peasants by the British government and they used to collect taxes directly from the peasants. Next one is the Mahalwari system. There existed another system called Mahalwari system that was introduced in the year of 1833 by William Bentinck at places like Agra and Punjab. This had many provisions of both the zamindari system and Royatwari system. According to this system, the land was portioned into estates called mahals and each mahal consisting of one or more villages. Peasants were given the land ownership rights and a village committee was held responsible for collecting the taxes. Now let's learn about the Indigo rebellion in Bengal. Indigo is a tropical plant which produces a blue dye that is used to color textiles. There was a huge demand of indigo in places like Manchester in the British textile factories. Wood produces pale and dull color while the indigo produces a rich blue color. This is why the cloth dyers referred indigo as a dye. At the end of 18th century, the demand for Indian indigo was raised very high. The production of indigo in the world between 1783 and 1789 thereby half British turned to India for its supply. In India, the indigo was cultivated through two systems, niche and royalty. According to the niche system, indigo was grown in plantations owned by rich planters. The crop was cultivated by the laborers. In Rayota system, planters forced cultivators to take loans from them in return for growing indigo on their lands. In India, mostly indigo was grown through this system. Peasants usually had no choice. They were forced to grow indigo. After growing indigo for a few years, the crop left the land barren and unusual for growing other food crops. The peasants were unable to repay their loans and were always stuck under debt. Causes for Indigo Rebellion. Indigo Rebellion of Bengal from 1859 to 60 was the most violent uprisings of the peasants. Intellectual class supported the peasants. Dinabandhu Mitra wrote about the Indigo Rebellion in his famous play Neel Darpan. Finally, the Indigo Commission was appointed by the British. They organized leadership and coordination of resistance, contributed to the success of the rebellion. Mahatma Gandhi's visit to Champaran in the year of 1917 helped the struggle of the indigo farmers in the area to the attention of the nation. The Indigo Rebellion is also known as the Blue Rebellion, which was started under the leadership of Digambar Biswas and Bishnu Biswas at a place called Govindpur village in Nadia district. So next topic is commercialization of agriculture. What does it mean? Here we all know that the Indian peasant, that is the farmers of India, used to grow the food crops like rice, wheat and all, right? But what happened here? The British forced them to grow the commercial crops like sugarcane, indigo, tea, coffee, rubber, etc. As a result, the peasants were made to cultivate the commercial crops instead of food crops, which led to a sharp fall in the production of food grains. So what happened here? The zamindars took advantage of this situation because the peasant had to pay the land revenue and they did not have the money, so they were going and taking or borrowing the loan from these money lenders. Because of the high interest, most of the peasants were not able to repay their loan. As a result, their lands were taken over by the zamindars or the merchant. So finally, the peasants were become landless laborers, and ultimately it led to the revolts. So children, this was the end of our session. In this session, we have learnt about the commercial policy and land revenue policy by the British, commercialization of agriculture, and also about the Indigo Rebellion in Bengal. Let's meet again in our next session. For more videos, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.